Tonight, breaking news as we come on. The U.S. confirming that Iran has fired a barrage of drones and missiles toward Israel, a significant escalation in the Middle East. Also, a deadly rampage at a crowded mall in Sydney, Australia. 6 people killed. First, that attack from Iran on Israel, following through on its threat to retaliate after Israel struck an Iranian consulate in Syria. Israel now bracing for hundreds of drones and missiles to arrive. It comes just after Iranian commandos repelled onto a ship linked to Israeli owners, seizing the vessel near the Strait of Hormuz. President Biden returning to the White House, meeting with his national security team. Defense Secretary Austin speaking to Israel's defense minister, reiterating unwavering U.S. support. Our Britt Clennett in Israel, Selina Wang at the White House, and Marine Colonel Steve Ganyard with analysis. Horror at a shopping mall. A man wielding a large knife on a killing spree at a crowded mall near a popular Australia beach, chasing shoppers, killing at least 6 people, injuring several, including a 9-month-old baby. A hero officer who shot him, saving other lives. Bridges closed in Pittsburgh after rising rivers sent 26 barges floating loose, with severe weather in the forecast there, and the new storm on the way from Texas to Michigan. Our weather team tracking it all. The record shortage of prescription drugs, more than 320 medications in short supply, including antibiotics, cancer treatments, and ADHD medications. Why it's happening and what you can do if your medicines are on the list. The police body camera video, the officer getting out of his car, immediately shooting a teen holding what appeared to be a gun. It was a fake, what the boy's family is now demanding. Drama on the highway, a wrong-way driver leading police on a dangerous chase, crisscrossing multiple lanes. Police finally stopping him, finding a 3-year-old and an infant inside. And America strong tonight, the first responders arriving just in time, delivering a baby who couldn't wait for the hospital. And now the happy reunion.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Whit Johnson. We're following breaking news as we come on tonight. The major escalation in the Middle East. U.S. officials confirming that Iran has launched drones and missiles toward Israel, following through on its vow to retaliate for the deadly bombing of its consulate in Syria 12 days ago. Earlier today, Iran's Revolutionary Guard seizing an Israeli-linked cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz, rappelling down from a helicopter. And the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah launching a barrage of rockets into northern Israel, the Iron Dome intercepting many of them. President Biden cutting short his weekend trip to Delaware and returning to the White House to consult with his national security team about events in the Middle East, now meeting with them in the Situation Room. Israel closing airspace to all flights as it braces for an Iranian attack, and neighboring Jordan also temporarily closing its airspace. We have team coverage tonight. Britt Clennett leading us off from Jerusalem.
Tonight, an unprecedented attack on Israel. For the first time, Iran directly launching drones from its territory. Roughly 100 drones on the way, expected to be part of 400 to 500 drones and missiles from Iran, as well as Iraq, Syria and southern Lebanon, according to a U.S. official. That U.S. official also telling ABC News the targets are 3 military bases, especially one housing F-35 fighter jets. The attack, retaliation for a deadly strike on the Iranian consulate in Syria earlier this month, likely to unfold over a number of hours, according to the National Security Council. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tonight saying the defensive systems are deployed, saying we are prepared for any scenario, both in defense and attack. Netanyahu once again vowing whoever hurts us, we hurt him. And a U.S. official telling ABC News tonight that the U.S. has already shot down some of the drones heading towards Israel. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, after the drones were launched, saying the evil regime will be punished. The Israeli Defense Forces saying the drones would take hours to reach Israel, more than 1,000 miles away. Israel closing Ben Gurion Airport and Israeli airspace, also closing schools and limiting large gatherings until Monday night. Iran for weeks vowing swift revenge after top commanders were killed in a strike the Pentagon says Israel was behind. Earlier today, Iran seizing this cargo ship, partially owned by an Israeli family in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran-backed militia group Hezbollah also claiming they struck Iron Dome air defense platforms with drones. Those defences shooting down missiles fired at Israel by Hezbollah last night, many of them intercepted.
Britt Clennett back with us from Israel tonight. And Britt, as we heard from Israeli officials today, they're prepared in both defense and attack. What are you learning about how Israel could respond tonight?
Yeah, where a source tells ABC News tonight that the U.S. has no doubt that Israel will respond, whether lives are lost or not, and that Iran itself will be the target.
Britt, thank you. And we know President Biden returned to the White House early this weekend, cutting short his trip to Delaware so he could meet with his national security team about the events unfolding in the Middle East. Let's get right to ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selina Wang. Selina, what is the administration saying tonight?
Well, the president is making clear tonight that America's support for Israel's security is ironclad. Now, the White House has been on high alert for days. They knew that this attack was imminent. The president cutting his weekend vacation short, and he is currently meeting, according to a U.S. official, right now with his top national security advisors in the Situation Room. But look, anxieties here, they are running high. Officials tell me that there is deep concern that this Iranian attack and a possible Israeli response that could widen this war, which is exactly what the president has been trying to avoid.
And Selina, what are your sources telling you about a potential U.S. role in the military response?
The U.S. is going to try to intercept everything that they can. That's according to a senior U.S. official who says that Iran is trying to overwhelm Israel's air defense systems by launching hundreds of drones and missiles from different directions, speeds, and altitudes. Now, the U.S. expects that most of that will be intercepted, but the fear is that if Israeli lives are lost, that the Israeli response will be much bigger. And at risk here as well are U.S. forces in the region, and the U.S. has already moved military assets to the Middle East in order to protect them.
Yeah, major concerns for that escalation. Selina, thank you so much. Let's bring in ABC News contributor Colonel Steve Ganyard. And Steve, what can you tell us about the nature of this attack and just how unprecedented it is for Iran to strike within Israel's borders?
Well, it's unprecedented in a historical sense, for Iran to directly attack Israel. What's concerning here, as Selina pointed out, is 400 to 500 drones and missiles inbound right now to Israel. Now, Israel has the most sophisticated integrated air and missile defense capabilities in the world, but with that number of incoming missiles and drones, it's almost inevitable that some will get through.
So, Steve, how likely is it that the U.S. will now be pulled deeper into this conflict, and what could our role look like militarily?
The U.S. has made it clear that they will do whatever they can to help Israel in this attack. We know that there are ships in the Red Sea, the U.S. ships in the Red Sea and off the coast of Israel both have very sophisticated anti-missile capabilities. But Iran has also said that if the U.S. helped Israel in this attack, that U.S. troops in the region would become fair game. And so the world has gotten very dangerous tonight, not only for Israel, but for the U.S. as well.
Truly a delicate situation and so much at stake. Steve Ganyard, thank you. And tune into This Week tomorrow morning. George Stephanopoulos speaks with White House National Security Spokesman John Kirby about the latest developments between Israel and Iran. Our coverage in the Middle East tonight will have much more if news warrants. We do move on now to other news in that deadly stabbing rampage at a busy mall in Sydney, Australia. At least 6 people are dead and several others injured, including a 9-month-old baby. Chaos erupting as panicked shoppers tried to flee the scene. What we're learning about the suspect tonight, and we want to warn you, some viewers may find the video disturbing. Here's ABC's Ines de La Cuetara.
Tonight, a deadly rampage erupting at a busy mall in Sydney, Australia, as a man attacked shoppers with what witnesses called a large knife.
We saw the guy come up the escalators with a big black knife in his hand, and just really calmly, he was just walking like he was having an ice cream in the park.
Hundreds spilling out onto the streets, first responders rushing to the scene near Bondi Beach.
I thought I was going to die.
At least 6 people killed, 8 others wounded, including a 9-month-old baby, some of the victims now in critical condition. New video showing an officer administering CPR, and this image from video circulating online showing the suspect with a knife, confronted by a shopper on an escalator trying to fend him off. And we're now learning an officer who was near the scene confronted the 40-year-old suspect, shooting and killing him after he raised his knife, the suspected murder weapon seemingly just feet away.
All I heard was put it down, and then she shot him, but we were not in. She didn't shoot him. Well, he would have kept going. He was on the rampage. He was on the rampage.
Police say the man acted alone and was known to authorities.
We are waiting to formally identify him, and we cannot speculate yet on his identification.
Tonight, Australia's Prime Minister hailing that officer who stopped him as a hero.
There's no doubt that she saved lives through her action.
This was a rare act of mass violence in Australia, and it's still unclear what the attacker's motives may have been. But again, police say they believe they know who he is, and they do not believe this was terror-related. Whit.
Ines de La Cuetara, thank you. Back here at home, a severe weather threat for much of the country. In Pittsburgh overnight, bridges were temporarily closed after 26 barges broke loose in the flooded Ohio River. The barges have all been accounted for, but did cause some damage. Let's get right to ABC's meteorologist Samara Theodore. And Samara, you're watching another round of dangerous weather.
That's right, Whit. And this round aiming for Pittsburgh and other parts of Pennsylvania. Let's go ahead and time this out. So things are pretty quiet tonight. As we move into Sunday, we start to see those storms popping up in areas like the Hudson Valley and upstate New York around 6 p.m. By 10 p.m., that then sweeps across the state of Pennsylvania. These storms bringing with them an elevated risk for severe weather. Not only could we see damaging winds, but this area in orange from State College to Scranton could see isolated tornadoes. Meanwhile, in the heartland, more severe weather will begin to sweep through at the start of your work week. From Oklahoma City and Wichita Falls, very large hail is possible. But from Waco all the way to Chicago, we could see damaging winds, especially on Tuesday. We see that severe weather threat shift farther east. Whit?
Some of these areas can't catch a break. Okay, Samara, thank you. Next tonight, a nationwide drug shortage hitting a record high. Medications for cancer patients among those hardest hit. About 1 in 3 hospitals saying they've been forced to skip or ration medication to patients. ABC's Nguyen has details.
Tonight, the stunning health warning from pharmacists. Drug shortages in the U.S. reaching an all-time high, 323 medications.
It's looked like me having to call up to 60 pharmacies to see if they have my prescription in stock.
Drugs for the central nervous system, antimicrobials, hormones, chemotherapy, fluids and electrolytes among the most affected, like penicillin, lidocaine, epinephrine and morphine.
This is one of the worst times that we've had as far as we've been tracking.
Melissa Lyle tells me she and her daughter have been struggling to fill their ADHD prescriptions in Washington state.
If we can't get her prescription filled and we can't get my prescription filled, will I go without so that she can have hers?
Why the shortage? The FDA says manufacturing issues, fluctuations in supply and demand, and discontinuations of less profitable drugs are partly to blame. Tonight, the agency telling ABC News the FDA is working closely with numerous manufacturers to understand, mitigate, and prevent or reduce the impact.
I think it's important to not panic. I think when you hear about a shortage, you think the drug is 100% out, and that's almost never the case.
Whit, if anyone has trouble finding their medications at their local pharmacy, the FDA says try checking out some of the other drugstores in the area. You can also ask your healthcare provider or pharmacist for any other alternatives to your medication. Whit.
Important information there, and thank you. Now to the family of an Ohio teen speaking out after he was shot by a police officer while holding what turned out to be a fake gun. Akron police releasing this body camera footage of the moment the officer fired, seconds after approaching the 15-year-old. Tonight, his family demanding justice. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff.
Tonight, police in Akron, Ohio investigating after an officer shot a 15-year-old boy holding a fake gun.
Where are you coming from?
Body camera video from April 1st just released shows Officer Ryan Westlake responding to a 911 call.
He was aiming a gun at people's houses.
Moments later, Officer Westlake pulls alongside 15-year-old Tavion Kuntz Williams.
Where are you coming from? Can I see your hands real quick?
Officer Westlake fires one shot, hitting the teen in the hand, who immediately begins to scream that the gun he has is fake.
Drop to the ground. Drop to the ground. It's fake. It's fake. I promise. Hands behind your back.
Tavion is cuffed. Just seconds later,
tourniquet. Tourniquet now. Tourniquet.
The cuffs removed as he's given first aid. The police union backing Officer Westlake, saying in a statement, when the officer arrived on the scene, he was forced to make a split-second decision as the suspect pulled the gun from his waistband. This is not clear in the video released by police because the teen is out of view for a few seconds as the shot is fired. The injured teen head down, appearing with his parents and their lawyer at a news conference.
Akron Police Department needs to be held accountable for the excessive force that you use on our black babies.
According to the city of Akron, Officer Westlake's file had a number of disciplinary actions and use of force incidents in it. One of them had been deemed unreasonable. Tonight, he's on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. Whit.
Philip off for us. Thank you. Next tonight, Oklahoma authorities arresting 4 men in connection with the disappearance of 2 Kansas moms. Jillian Kelly and Veronica Butler were going to pick up Butler's children, but they never arrived. They have been missing for nearly 2 weeks now. Now to a new legal setback for the president's son, Hunter Biden. A federal judge denying his attempts to dismiss 3 federal gun charges. This means the case will likely proceed to trial in June. Hunter Biden was indicted in September on charges that he lied about drug use on a gun permit application. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday. The dangerous wrong-way driver leading police on a harrowing chase, crossing lanes, how this ended, and who is found inside. And the daring rescue from disabled cable cars dangling along a mountainside. The 23-hour operation into the night. Next. Next tonight, the dramatic rescue from disabled cable cars on a scenic mountaintop in southern Turkey. One of the cars slamming into a broken pole, spilling its passengers. One of them died. 35 other cars left dangling high above the ground. For the next 23 hours into the night, teams rescued 174 people, including children. Some lowered to the ground, others lifted into helicopters. The accident is now under investigation. And in Honolulu, a deadly accident at a cruise ship terminal, a van slamming into a group of passengers. The driver had just dropped people off at the pier and got out, but the van kept moving, so he jumped back in the driver's seat, but he apparently hit the gas instead of the brake. A 68-year-old female passenger was killed, 5 others injured, 4 in serious condition. When we come back, the harrowing dash cam video, police chasing a wrong-way driver through traffic on an interstate, and the stunning end. To the index now, a dangerous wrong-way chase on a busy highway outside Detroit. Police on the trail of an alleged stolen car. The driver making a U-turn on Interstate 94, speeding across lanes. Deputies finally boxing the car in, bringing it to a stop, shocked to find a 3-year-old and an infant in the back seat. The driver is under arrest. When we come back, the first responders and the family reunion after its youngest member's early arrival. Finally tonight, America Strong, the 2 firefighters who answered the call and the eager baby who just couldn't wait to be born. Catherine Norsegian was 39 weeks pregnant when she started having contractions. They progressed so quickly, her husband Jordan started rushing her to the hospital, but they didn't get far.
Station 2 for a medical. We have a female in labor in a vehicle.
Forced to stop at the nearest parking lot, he called 911 for help.
They were instructed to turn hazards on.
It was one of the scariest moments of my life, absolutely.
Within minutes, 2 firefighters from Farmington Hills, Michigan pulled up and immediately sprung into action.
She said, "It's coming," and I looked, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Well, maybe." And she says, "It's coming right now." And I look, I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's coming right now."
2 or 3 pushes later, baby Jordan was born. A healthy boy, 7 pounds, 3 ounces.
We arrived on scene at 5:19, and the baby came at 5:21.
And just days after his birth, this reunion. Baby Jordan, his parents, and big sister Mila welcoming those 2 firefighters.
He called us at just the right time.
I was so glad to have capable hands.
Tim was the catcher. You know, and I was basically the umpire behind him helping out.
The young family and first responders all grateful for a happy ending.
It's very exciting to see a good outcome. You know, we go on so many bad calls every day, and to see something, you know, shine a light on the good things that we do on a day-to-day basis as well.
Well, we're shining a light and a job well done. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. Good night.
America's most watched newscast, ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir, is now available on YouTube.